Adjusting columns and rows. So you have this column A and column B. Now let's say column A, on cell A3, you have this data in cell A3. Now let's say that's how does it look like. You can see sometimes it's unreadable. This way means Excel is not able to show you the number that's there because there's not enough space. And sometimes it just show it, it will overwrite. Like let's put here C, you see it's overwriting the border of the cell, so it doesn't look right. How you gonna fix that? You need to make sure that your cell or your column in this case is fitting the data in it. How to auto fit the data in that column? You simply select that column, you hold shift, and you go all the way up to the column name and you double click on the left button of the mouse. Now your column is encapsulating the data in it. Let's do it again. You go to type and you go all the way up until you see two arrows to the right and to the left. You hold shift, double click. Already your column is encapsulating the data inside of it. There's other option. Let's say you have this much data in your cell. There is a wrap text option. In this case, wrapping text will make your cell bigger, either wider or longer, to be able to encapsulate the data in it. Otherwise, the data will go beyond the cell perimeter, or sometimes it will hide those data. But when you put wrap text, that means all the text in that cell is being shown on the screen in that case. The background algorithm of Excel will look at all the cells that you highlighted, and it will see which cell have the longest data in it. Then it will adjust the width of that column on that. Same thing for rows, same thing for columns. So that's a good trick to work on while you're building your data sheet or you're building your Excel sheet. Third topic that we want to touch on is formatting cells. So you have a certain cell that you want to format, either color formatting or font formatting or even data type formatting. Let's say we're having here cell 03. Let's say in that cell I want to put ABC 1, 2, 3. So we're having numbers and letters in this case. Formatting the cell means changing the way it looks and changing the colors being used and fonts and all those details. So what we're gonna do, we can select that exact cell that we want to format. Let's say the font here seems smaller than the others. I would go to fonts up here from home, then fonts, and this is the font size. I can go with 16, and we learned how to encapsulate with 16. You hold shift, or if it's a single cell, then you can just left button of the mouse, double click there, and it will encapsulate the size of that cell, or you go to wrap text, same thing. Other way to increase the size of the font, you can go with the A capital in here, which is the bigger A, and the A capital, which is the smaller A with a down arrow on it. That's how you decrease the font size and increase it without really touching the numbers. Let's say you want to change the color of that text in that specific cell, then we go here, font color, then you can choose the color that you wish, and you can see it's changing as you're highlighting over the colors. Let's say I want the font over there to be bold, like that number I need to be readable very well. Either you hold Control B or you select the letter B from the Home tab, then it will make you the color, the font of that text bold, or you can use italic to make it italic, or underscored, or even you can go double underline and all those details. Now what if I want to put the color of the whole cell to be filled with a certain color, in this case yellow? I can go to the fill color, click on it, will give me whatever color I see here. If I don't like that color, then I can go from the drop down menu and select whatever color I like and click on it. Then you can go to any cell, click on it directly, it will give you green or red or whatever color you want. Changing the text color in here, go here, click on it, he will give you the text color that you have, or you change it from the drop down menu. Now let's increase the width of the cell to be able to show you where formatting would work. So you can see here in this cell the data is not centered. It makes sense usually to have the data centered in that exact cell or in that column. So here you can center horizontally, or you can go all the way to the right, or you can align to the left, or you center it. Then there's a little centering over here. That's centering vertical. Sometimes the cell is too long, so you need to make sure, you see the data now is not centered, it's pulled all the way down in a vertical way. What if you want it to be exactly centered in horizontal and in vertical way? You want it to show the text or the data in the exact center of that cell. Then you go on the top and you do vertical centering. So that's how you play with centering the data in your exact cell. Okay, now what if we want to copy whatever we did on that cell to the next cell, like the formatting, coloring, and everything? So you can go here to Format Painter, you click on it, it's highlighting. That means he copied the style that you used here, and you can choose whatever cell you want to copy that formatting on it, and click left button of the mouse. In this case, you see it became an exact copy of that formatting, but with the exact data in that different cell. Another topic, what if we want to identify what kind of data to put in that cell? So we're having numbers here, forget about formatting, you can center it. Now right click and you say format cells. Now he's telling you what kind of data you'll be inputting in that cell. Sometimes you want to put time, sometimes you want to put date. So putting 3/14/2012 will put you just a dummy numbers, like it's a number 3142012. He will, in general, he will treat it as a number. But if you want it to be a date, then you should specify it's a date. Let's try that. So today's date is February 10th, 2021. He treats it as a number, but in reality I want it to be as a date, not as a number. Right click, format cells, then you go into date, choose the date format that you like and click OK. Now he show it as a number. I'm not sure why he changed the year, 2021. So now it is looking like a date, not a pure number. What about time? Let's see if we choose time what will happen. See? So now you have a time format. Let's delete this. So you can put the time format, whatever application you're working on. Then you can put the time format that you would like. And he will get it, no problem. While if you put only numbers, then it will be hard. Of course, with general, you can always have a representation, like I'll put 01, column 2, column 55 p.m. So in general, I can still show that, but it's preferable if it's a time column to specify all the cell formatting to be time related. Now let's go back, format cells. Let's say you're talking about currency, then you can show a symbol of that currency in there, so it will make your life easier. Accounting have their own stuff. In numbers, sometimes you want to show how many decimal places are being used in numbers. So we have here number 122, format cells. Now you have numbers, mathematical numbers, so you can choose how many decimal places to show in that number. It depends on the complication of your number. If you have a lot of numbers like 122.0001, either in accounting or even in currencies and stuff, then you can use how many decimal places you want to show. And of course, you can click OK. Then he will show you that number in a more specific way based on your needs. Then you can use a thousand separator if you want, and you can choose not to. So it's up to you. Here we don't have 1,000. What if we have 1,000? You see, he gave you 1,000 separator in here. If you want to add a dollar sign, then you can go ahead, format cells, and choose currency. So he's talking about dollar sign in this case. So that's how it is. That's how you format cells. Of course, there is a conditional formatting where the cell will change based on a certain value in that cell, but that's really an advanced topic that we don't want to talk about it right now, so that we will avoid any confusion for you. So let's say we have a certain data that we want to put in a color format, or in a table format in this case. Can go format as a table from the home tab, and you can choose that, and he's telling you what data you want for your table, and does your table have a header or no, and hit OK. Now he's giving you the data in a table format, and you can change the headers over here to X and Y. You can of course increase the size of the font, the type of the font, and all those details, colors, etc. So that's an easy presets or templates to create quickly a table, and it could fit into your worksheet and give it a more appealing design in this case.